As requested by you, today we are going to be looking into the next 3 months that you are going to be going into and what those have in store for you. So if you are interested in that, then definitely stay tuned for these messages. It's going to be fun, and also a warning, this is most likely going to be quite a long video, so make yourselves comfortable and get all of the snacks and drinks that you need, and yeah, settle in. And also thank you for the suggestion for the video request. As always, I'm open to the reading ideas, topic suggestions that you would like to see from me. So if you have any, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. But let's get straight to the piles that you get to choose from today. As you can see, we are doing it a bit differently today. We don't have the usual cards that are upright that you get to see and choose from. We have 3 upside down oracle cards, which have messages on the other side of them that we don't know what they are. And we also have these 3 gemstones. So that is basically what you have to choose from. So for pile number 1, we have the green opal stone. For pile number 2, we have tiger's eye. And for pile number 3, we have rose quartz. If you have made your pick and you are ready to jump to the messages, you can go into the description box down below and click on the timestamp that you need. But if you don't exactly know how you should go about choosing the right pile for you, then what I would suggest is to first make sure that you are not distracted by any loud noises or any commotion around you. If you can, get yourself to a quiet space so that you could really hear your own body, your own intuition speak to you. You can also close your eyes for a few seconds, do some breathing techniques, or just take a few deep breaths to really get yourself present in this moment. And when you open your eyes again, take a look at the piles, look at the colors, see what you are drawn to, or maybe you just have a specific nudge, something in your gut, something in your body that you feel, a sensation of some kind that will tell you which pile you feel a pull towards. And as I always say, whichever way your intuition speaks to you, follow that voice. But also, please don't forget to use your discernment as you are listening to these general messages. And without further ado, let's get into it. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 1. My name is Helen and I am so excited for today's reading because we are doing it a bit differently today, and I haven't done the sort of shuffling things around in quite a while, and yeah, I'm just really thrilled to get into it and see what we actually get. So, as you could already tell from the intro part, we are doing things a bit differently today. And so, the card that you chose, which has a message on the other side of it, is going to remain over here until the end of the reading. This is going to be the last message that we look at. But so that you could still get some sort of inclination about whether this is really your pile or not, we do have some mini oracle card portion to look at as well, or some oracle cards to look at, that will give us a bit of a description of something that you have experienced recently. So as you are listening to these messages, you should be able to recognize yourself and your recent past, and that way it should be a confirmation that this is truly your pile. So let's see. We have the squirrel. We have divine guidance and the wolf. So pile number 1, I'm getting massive homey vibes from these cards. I have a feeling that you have been looking after yourself and your family, and that has been the sort of main focus for you lately, especially when it comes to your home life. I feel that there has been a lot of focus on your home life specifically, working in a very smart way. And what I mean by that is we have this squirrel card, and I do feel this energy of being very pragmatic with what you have, what you are doing with your energy. So you're not wasting your energy. You are being very careful with what you are actually spending time on, what you are investing yourself in. I feel like you are starting to pay a lot more attention to your habits as well. And for some reason, I'm feeling specifically like habits on social media, habits of procrastination, habits of, just scrolling away on your phone, or binging TV shows, and just kind of doing things at home that feel nice and cozy, or that just kind of feel somewhat relaxing, but that maybe are actually somewhat detrimental as well. So I do feel this sense that you are starting to pay more attention to some of these feelings, some of these sensations that you are getting, how something makes you feel. And I feel like you are starting to follow that a lot more. Also, because of this, I do feel that you are not only being more cautious with your energy when it comes to kind of squandering your energy away or wasting it on things that are maybe not actually good for you, but also when it comes to work and how much you are sort of pushing yourself, or how much energy you are spending on your responsibilities, on the things that you need to do. So again, there is something really wise about it, how you are able to manage your energy. So I feel like you are really starting to save up some of the energy reserves for the things that truly matter to you, for the things that you get this specific nudge towards, or that you feel that are right for you, that you feel that you really need to do and that you really want to do. And some of those things that you don't really like as much, I feel like you have started to either delegate or just like cut down into smaller chunks, more manageable chunks, so that it wouldn't be that overwhelming for you. I get that leadership sort of vibe with the wolf here. So it does seem like you are starting to, or you have started to, take more charge of things in your life. And again, it's like you are compartmentalizing certain things, organizing certain things, scheduling certain things. I get this systematic approach with the wolf as well. So both the squirrel and the wolf are giving me like massive smart vibes, if I can say it that way. It just feels like you know exactly what you are doing, and you are making really smart moves. You are making moves that are thinking about the future. So it's not like you are neglecting your responsibilities or the things that you need to do, but you are going about them in a much more pragmatic, efficient, energy-saving way. And again, it's like you are thinking about the future. So you are, I feel like you are saving up, or possibly doing something to gather some reserves for the future. So some of you may be doing that. You may be actually saving up for something really specific. Again, most likely with this card, it's some sort of dream of yours, or something that you feel like you want to launch, you want to begin, or you want to you just want to have in your future. So for some of you, it's a dream. For others of you, it's just this almost this like inner push that you feel that you need to do this. But yeah, it feels like more of a specific message. But overall, as I said, it feels like you are taking care of family responsibilities. You are spending a lot of time at home and doing things at home. But also you seem to be handling all of these other things in a very practical way. And especially with the wolf card, I just want to add as well that it feels like some of you have either expanded your network, or maybe this is more of a specific message, but for those of you who either have a business or you are working on launching some sort of project on your own, you may have actually expanded and incorporated other people into it as well, so that you have the opportunity to delegate certain things, so that you wouldn't have to do everything by yourself. So yeah, I'm feeling this teamwork sort of energy. And even if it's not talking about you, even if you are not launching a business or you are not working on some sort of personal project, it just feels like you have started incorporating other people into some of these things that you are doing so that you would have more time freed up for the things that are truly important, for the things that need your undivided attention. So anyway, that is what was coming through from this part. I'm just going to put these cards on the side here because we need the desk cleared for the next part. So if you at all recognized yourself in that description, if this was what you have been dealing with, what you have experienced recently, then stick around because now we are getting to the most exciting part of this reading, which is all about the next 3 months. And as I already warned in the intro, get ready, get settled in, get comfy, because I feel like this is going to be quite a long one, but also hopefully really, really fun. And we're going to take a look at a lot of these different things. So we are going to get some tea leaf oracle cards first. We're going to get some themes that will come up for you more generally or more broadly within the next 3 months. So let's see what we get. Okay. Wow. So we have, okay. So we have these 6 cards over here, and we're going to talk about them one by one. We're going to take a look at each one and see what comes up. Now, I also want to give a bit of a disclaimer about these cards. Some of them sound really dramatic, but personal experience has shown that generally they are very, very far off from these massively dramatic sounding messages, and they tend to manifest in like whole other ways. So yeah, even if you see something or you hear something on the card, some of these messages that like shake you up in some way, then rest assured it's most likely not going to be that deep or that serious. So yeah, just take this with a grain of salt, and let's just take this as fun, okay? So pile number 1, I am going to actually group these 2 cards together because both of these cards feature the keyword of family, which feels on the one hand like it's a bit of a confirmation that your family life and your home life has been somewhat of a focus for you recently, but it also seems like it's carrying on or carrying into the next 3 months for you as well. So family is definitely an important subject for you, or at least it continues to be in the upcoming months as well. So we have these family matters and family wishes coming true cards. And clearly it feels like something that you have been hoping for, something that you have been working towards or maybe planning is going to go very well. And most likely you are going to have to deal with a lot of family things. This is a very neutral card in general, so it's not good or bad. It's just talking about everything that is family related, and it's emphasizing that within the next 3 months, there are going to be a lot of home-related, family-related things that need your attention or that are going to be coming up. But again, with this well card, it's most likely that these things are going to be positive, that there is something that is going to happen in the way that you are hoping for it to happen, or there is going to be some sort of a, again, like a wish fulfillment that is going to be a pleasant experience for you. Now, we also have this Tower card, which says solid foundation and success with effort. So on the one hand, I feel like it's saying that you are quite stable within the next 3 months. I feel like there aren't going to be any massive disruptions or anything that would really shake up your foundation, like this card very literally says. But with the success with effort, it does seem like there are going to be instances where you have to put in some work, where you have to put in some effort to get the results that you actually want. So it might be that something that you are working on, maybe this is even tied to this more specific message that was coming through earlier, where if you are working on something, a project of some kind, or a new business, or branching out a business or trying out something new, it may mean that you do have to put in quite a lot of work and really sort of push yourself, but that it's also going to be rewarded in the end, that it's going to be worth it. So I almost feel this kind of advice here as well from Spirit, or it almost feels like a message of like, keep going, keep pushing, don't give up, because slow and steady is going to win the race, I want to say. Now, we also have this younger man, which is dealings or relationship with a younger man. Maybe you are dealing with a person, or this may indicate that someone who may be younger than you and who may be a man. But I mean, yeah, these cards have these genders attached to them. But I don't know. I kind of take these cards with, like, I don't take them as seriously, so I'm just going to put that out there. But usually these cards come out when there is a specific person who is more on the forefront, or who has a more specific role to play, or a more important role to play in whatever it is that you are doing, or whatever it is that you are experiencing. So they may be younger and they may be a man. Maybe this is a family member of yours, or maybe this is someone that you are working alongside with on a project, or maybe this is someone that you are in a relationship with. But yeah, it feels like there is a specific person who within the next 3 months is going to be more sort of emphasized, or your relationship with them is going to be more emphasized. So yeah, there's that. Now we have this broken bridge card, which looks, again, as I said, quite dramatic. It's one of those cards. And this says unsuccessful outcome to a problem. But again, I wouldn't get too bogged down by the way that this card is depicted. I wouldn't take this too seriously, because most likely this is simply indicating that there is going to be a situation which doesn't go the way that you had planned, or that some sort of solution or some sort of idea that you had for something is not going to work out, and you are most likely going to have to pivot or change something around, come up with an alternative, have a backup plan or something like that. So yeah, again, I wouldn't take this too seriously, but most likely within the next 3 months, there is going to be some sort of annoyance that you come across. And I feel like this card is just here to kind of give you a heads up about that. And finally, we have this Tiger card, which says doing something risky, taking a chance. Because these cards are next to each other, the Broken Bridge and this Tiger card, it may mean that whatever doesn't go according to plan, it may push you to try something that pushes you out of your comfort zone, try something that you haven't done before, go out on a limb regarding something. So it may indicate that that's what you were doing, but it may just more broadly talk about having more of an impulsive nature maybe, or having something come up within the next 3 months that pushes you to take a chance on something, or to do something a bit more risky, something that is not of the norm for you. So yeah, anyway, those were the messages that were coming through regarding some of these themes or keywords that are going to be coming up for you within the next 3 months. So I'm just gonna scoop these cards up, because now we get to the next 3 months more specifically. We're gonna get some more details about each month. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get some dice. We're going to start off with the first month. We're going to get 3 dice for it. I'm going to choose the three dice, with my left hand, and then we're going to see what sort of messages we get, and then we're going to open those messages up with some tarot cards as well. And we're going to do that for each of the 3 months. So starting with the first month, I'm going to get 3 dice to see what the first 3 months have in store for you. So let's see. Okay, interesting. So we have the question mark, we have a fish, and we have this learner's symbol. Okay, so I do feel that the first month, pile number 1, is going to be somewhat of a testing one for you, and that is not in a bad or negative way. It just feels like it's going to be difficult to predict or see how things are going to go. I feel like there are a lot of these unknowns, or a lot of these situations that may leave you somewhat perplexed, or where you find it difficult to see solutions clearly. And there may even be some information that is hazy, some information that is missing. Some of these things that you are kind of going to have to figure out as you go along. I feel like you can't really prepare or learn too much beforehand. And with the fish here, I do feel like it's kind of a message of going with the flow. That's really what I feel. That there are going to be some situations, or it's mostly going to be a month where you sort of have to go with the flow. I feel like it's not actually going to be that difficult for you. With this fish, I feel that you are actually going to be able to take things in stride and maybe face things more easily, pivot where you need to pivot, change where you need to change, and adjust where you need to adjust is really what I feel. But I do sense that the first month is going to require some flexibility on your part. Now, with this, again, this learner's symbol, I do feel that you are going to learn quite a lot, and maybe there are going to be situations within the first month that you experience where you have to put on a student's cap and get into a beginner's mindset, where you, again, have to go with the flow, experience things as they come, and sort of learn on the go. But I also feel that this is indicating that you are going to be learning quite a lot within the first month, or there is going to be some sort of information that broadens the world for you, I feel. So yeah, it seems like the first month is going to be quite interesting, and there may be a lot of these unexpected situations that you encounter or that you come across. Yeah, I feel like the first month may be a bit of a mystery, but as I said, we're going to open up these dice with some tarot cards as well. So let's see what else we can find out. Okay. So we have the Four of Swords, the Seven of Coins, and the Tower. So I'm not surprised that we get the Tower, because as I said, I feel like the first month with this question mark and this fish is indicating that there are going to be sudden unexpected situations or things that, again, you possibly can't really prepare for. Now, I just want to show you, because I saw the underlying energy as well. I'm not really going to focus on the underlying energy in this reading today, because otherwise I feel like we would be here for way too long. But with the moon, it's kind of coinciding with the whole message of certain unknowns being at play, things that you kind of have to just go into and figure out as you go along. So yeah, it may be somewhat of a month where things happen, where you are taken by surprise somewhat. Again, things may be happening that you didn't really know, or that you don't have that much experience in. But I feel like that are going to teach you a lot, because with the Tower, now I'm kind of stealing the words out of another tarot reader's mouth. Jane from Jane's International Tarot, if I'm not mistaken. If I am mistaken, I will leave the correct name on the screen here. But Jane always used to say that the Tower is the Wheel of Fortune in disguise, and I completely agree with her, in the sense that the Tower, even though it may be something that is uncomfortable, something that is like kind of triggering in the moment, it's always good for something in the end. And even if it only comes out in the end what this thing was good for, what this change was good for, ultimately there is something positive about a Tower situation. That's how it tends to be. So again, I wouldn't be too worried about this Tower card. Now we also have this 4 of Swords and the 7 of Coins. And these cards are really the main reason why I also feel that this Tower is not that big of a deal, or it's not that shocking, because both of these cards are more slow and more peaceful, more serene. Especially with the 4 of Swords, it feels like during the first month, there are going to be instances where you kind of have to shut yourself off or shut your mind off and just, again, zone out, just relax and not overthink things too much, especially because the 7 of Coins is also a card of patience and just allowing things to unfold, allowing things to take their time and see what comes out. I do feel that there are going to be quite a lot of instances within the first month where you, again, just sort of have to wait and see and allow things to unfold naturally and change course or adapt to situations that way. And I also just want to add that this whole broken bridge a message that was coming through where something doesn't work out quite the way that you expected, that may actually happen within the first month. Where again, you have planned for something, you have prepared for something, or you have, you have thought that things are going the way that they are going, but then the outcome turns out to be something different. So, yeah, that may be the case for some of you. But I also feel with the 7 of Coins here that whatever this this thing is that you're experiencing within the first month, where you are kind of having to be patient and sort of go with the flow and all of these lessons that you are learning, I feel like it's going to have long-term rewards, or again, it may pay off sometime in the future and come in really handy. So I just wanted to point that out as well. But let's move on to the second month. So let's see. Okay, and one more. There we go. Okay, interesting. So we are getting a mobile phone or a phone. We also have a tower or an office building or a tall building, and we have a pyramid. So I feel like the second month is going to be a lot more busy for you. There is going to be a lot more happening, most likely a lot more socializing as well. I'm looking at this younger man card, and as I said, for some of you, it definitely means that there's going to be a specific person who has a role to play, or is more sort of, whose role is more emphasized within this next 3 months regarding whatever this is that you are building or doing. As I said, it may be more of a specific message, but if that specific message resonates for you, I definitely feel like the second month is where that truly sort of comes alive, or where you start feeling it more. Because we have this cell phone symbol here, and it definitely feels like you are going to be a lot more communicative. There is going to be a lot more incoming information. People are wanting to get in touch with you. You are maybe going to have to, again, delegate things more or discuss things a lot more with other people. The first month feels like it's more personal, but the second month feels like it's a lot more tied to other people and the relationships in your life, and it seems to be much more other people focused. So we also have this tower or this office building coming out. So it could indicate very literally that you are maybe spending more time on work or your sort of career responsibilities, or again, this thing that you are building, if that's the thing that you are doing. But I also feel, because this is a really tall building, and especially next to the pyramids as well, that there may be certain growth that is happening as well. So there may be some sort of expansion happening in the second month, or where things become a bit more serious, where things level up in some way. That's really what I feel with this pyramid, that there is some sort of leveling up, or that something is being expanded upon. Now, it may also be tied to this family wish or family dream. So If that's the case, then it most likely is going to happen in the second month. But even if that isn't the case, it just feels like the second month is going to be a lot more frantic. There is a lot more going on. It's going to pick up, especially in the social sense. So let's see what tarot cards we get. Okay. Wow. So we have the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Empress. Yeah, interesting that we're getting two court cards here, because I do feel that the Queen of Wands is you, regardless of what your gender is. Please don't get stuck in the gender. I just feel, for whatever reason, that this Queen of Wands is your energy, especially tied to the Empress as well. There seems to be a connection here. And then we have this Knight of Pentacles coming out, which, as I said, for some of you, I definitely feel that it's tied to this younger man energy, and that would so well coincide with the Knight of Pentacles energy, because knights tend to be somewhat younger, and they are very often tied to male energy. So yeah, that's definitely the case for some of you. But with the Queen of Wands, first off, I feel like it's just a massive confirmation that you are going to be more sort of on display, or more people are going to be focusing on you. There's going to be a lot more socializing, because the Queen of Wands is the most popular out of all of the queens in the court cards. It just feels like you are somewhat stepping into this leadership role more, or where you are kind of having to make some systems or create some systems. Again, do a lot of communication, because I feel like the Queen of Wands energy is so magnetic. So I feel like you are going to be pulling a lot of people in, or there are going to be a lot of things that people either want from you, or they just want to communicate with you. They want to bounce ideas off of you. They want your input on something, or they simply want to spend time with you. Whatever it is, I do feel that, again, you are going to get a lot more attention during the second month. And I'm kind of jumping ahead to the Empress energy here, which beautifully coincides with this whole message of expansion. The Empress is such a beautiful, abundant energy. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if within the second month, things are starting to pick up, things are starting to grow, things are starting to become more abundant, more fruitful. You may actually see certain rewards happening as well. And again, because the Empress can very often be tied to a motherly sort of energy as well. It's not saying that you need to be a mother, but it does feel like whatever sort of home wishes or things that you have planned or that you are working towards, the Empress may indicate that, again, within the second month, you may see some of these family wishes coming true, or something going the way that you had hoped that it would. And again, with this Knight of Pentacles, on the one hand, it's just a confirmation that it's most likely going to be more of a work-focused month for you, where you are taking care of business, where you are just dealing with the pragmatic things that need taking care of. But the Knight of Pentacles, as I also said, seems like it's a confirmation that there is going to be a person who is an important part of this thing that you are building, or this thing that you are creating, or even if it's simply talking about your family dynamic, there is going to be someone that has an important part to play in this expansion process, or bringing something to life, because they are facing the Empress as well. So I do feel that if it's a business thing, then they may be someone who is a part of your team, or something like that, or who just has like a really cool idea, or who wants to invest, maybe even. I don't know, I feel like that's a really specific message. But yeah, generally, the second month feels like it's going to be a really, really interesting one, and where quite a lot may be happening. But again, I just want to kind of calm those of you down who may be a bit freaked by things starting to speed up, or stuff like that, because the Knight of Pentacles is very cool and grounded and calm and patient. I wouldn't be too worried about things like flying off the handle or anything like that. So it feels like it's sort of a steady process in that sense. It feels like it's going in these little steps in the right direction. And finally, Let's look at the third month ahead as well. Getting the last dice out of the bag. Let's see. Wow, okay. So we have a house, we have a die, and we have the moon. I'm not sure how it's... Okay, let's just keep it like this. Pile number one, I find it really interesting how we are getting these repeating symbols and messages, how we had the actual tower and the tower message here, and where you are sort of building and laying a foundation and working hard in the second month, and how we have some of these unknowns and places where you have to sort of pivot or where you have to change things around with the broken bridge message and all of that. And now we finally get these messages here that are clearly talking about, again, your home life, your family matters, and sort of taking a chance on something. So I just find it really interesting how all of this is playing out. But yeah, let's actually get to the third month. So looking at all of these three dice together, it feels like the third month is one where you are sort of taking it back or sort of scaling it back a notch, taking it maybe a bit more easy, and focusing more on your family matters, your home life. Because I feel like within the first 2 months, there is quite a lot going on. There is a lot that you are sort of dealing with and changing with and adapting to. And then all of this building and socializing and working hard that you are doing in the second month. In the third month, it feels like, yeah, like the focus is being brought back on your home life, your family situation, just doing things around the house, or yeah, just sort of focusing more on your personal private life. Again, it may be the month as well where you are dealing more with these family issues, like, or family matters, like we had with the seahorse card. And also maybe with the die and the moon, it may also be the month where, for some of you, this family wish coming true happens. But speaking of the die here more specifically, I do feel that the third month may be where you sort of become a bit more impulsive, or where you do end up taking a chance on something, trying something different, taking a risk, or just seeing how something plays out, trying a different approach. And finally, we also have this moon here as well, which does seem to indicate that on the one hand, it may be saying that you could be feeling a bit more impulsive. So there may be certain emotion that is tied to the decision to make somewhat of a risky move or to take a chance on something. But it also seems to indicate, again, I'm being brought back to the moon card in tarot, which does seem to indicate that there could be certain sort of unknowns, or again, certain moves that you are making that you have no idea how they are going to turn out. But yeah, generally, I do feel that there is going to be more of a family life and home life focus, possibly dealing with some more emotionally important, emotionally significant things, as well as trying something new, shaking something up here. But again, let's see what the tarot cards have to say. Whoa. Okay. So we have the Six of Coins that is coming out in reverse, the Two of Swords, and the World. So starting off with the Six of Coins in reverse, it's giving me the sensation that, or it's giving me the sense that this is the energy of you sort of pulling back a bit, pulling your energy back into yourself and your sort of private life, your home life, especially next to the Two of Swords here. I do feel that you may be kind of, again, taking it a bit more easy after all of the commotion and everything that you seem to be working on and putting energy and effort into in the previous months. So the third month seems to be more chill in that sense, especially with the Two of Swords. It feels like you are tuning into your inner self in order to figure out a solution or make some sort of decision, because the Two of Swords indicates that there is some sort of a crossroads that you are encountering, some sort of a dilemma that needs a decision. And the Six of Coins seems to indicate that you can't get the solution from someone else, or that outside help isn't really going to get you anywhere. So I feel like the solution or the answer needs to come from you. And because we also got the message of possibly doing something different, taking a risk of some kind or taking a chance of some kind, I do feel that it may indicate that there is some sort of a situation that you may need to encounter kind of blindly, or where you have to go off of your intuition, where you have to, again, take a chance on something, and you possibly can't know how things are going to go. So yeah, that seems to be coming up within the 3rd month. But we are finishing all of the cards with the World card, which is such an auspicious energy, because it does indicate that there is going to be some sort of success that happens, or a successful completion of something, a stepping up, a culmination, crossing the finish line. So most likely this is a confirmation as well that for some of you, this family wish coming through is actually going to happen in the 3rd month. For some of you, I feel like it's happening in the 2nd month, but I do feel that for those of you who are actually building a business or working on something like that, right? That is more so in the 2nd month, and then this family thing is in the 3rd month. But anyway, yeah, the World is such a positive sign that all in all, I feel like you are going to level up, or you are going to be stepping into some sort of a new journey or a new cycle. And as well, that if you have to take a chance on something, if you have to sort of go off of your gut, I feel like with the World, it's indicating that the decision that you are making is actually the right one. So especially with the Moon being here too, I do feel that listening to your intuition, trusting your intuition, trusting the signs that you are getting is going to lead you down the right path. That is what is coming through here, pile number 1. But we are going to get some oracle card messages as well. These are going to be advice from Spirit regarding this whole reading. So let's see what these say before we close the reading out with the oracle card that has been waiting for you this whole time. So let's see. Okay. So, hang on. I am going to try to make these nice and neat. Okay, so I don't know how I always do it, but I always do. So anyway, the first card that you have is that which is true will always be enough. Truth, honor, Empress, integrity. Oh my God. I love that you're getting the Empress energy twice. But yeah, Spirit is re-emphasizing the importance of speaking your truth and staying true to your integrity, honoring what you feel is right, and following. I feel, again, with all of these crescent moons coming out over here, I just feel like it's a further confirmation that you should really trust your intuition. You should trust what you feel a nudge towards, what your inner world is trying to tell you. Yeah, that is the first message here. And the second message that we have is just let me be. Liberation, free spirit, wild, authentic. Yeah, so again, I feel like Spirit is re-emphasizing the importance of staying true to yourself. And I also feel like with this whole liberation aspect, it may be emphasizing the necessity for boundaries and actually taking the time or requesting the time for yourself, where you may need to step away from it all, where you may need to reload your batteries, ground yourself, get rid of everything that is going on, all of the buzzing around you. So yeah, nurturing yourself in that sense as well, I feel is quite an important thing here. But pile number 1, I feel like the time is here to actually look at the card that you chose and put a nice little ending to this whole reading. So let's see what you have. Things don't ever really get easier. The challenges don't disappear. You just become more elevated and capable. Oh my goodness, I love this card. I'm not sure how well you will be able to see it because the text is super tiny and the cards are so bright. There we go. Hopefully you will be able to see it. So yeah, this is just Spirit's way of saying that you are the one who is growing, who is developing, who is becoming more capable. And so yeah, regardless of what you are actually faced with, in time, through all of these different experiences that you gather, you actually become so much more capable of dealing with whatever is thrown on your path. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy, pile number one. I hope that you are excited. I hope that these messages made sense to you and that you could resonate with them, that you got something useful from these. And if that's the case, please let me know. If you made it all the way to this point, I know this was a long one, but if you made it all the way to this point and you are still here, leave me a little seahorse. Leave me a little seahorse emoji down in the comment section so that I would know that you are here, that you watched this thing all the way through, and that you got something from this, that you had fun. As always, I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. And in the meantime, please take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 2. My name is Helen and I cannot wait to jump into these messages with you. So we are going to do things a bit differently today. As you already kind of got from the intro part as well, we are going to take a look at the card that you actually chose at the very end of the reading. We are going to see what this message says. I have no idea what is on the other side of this card, but we're going to wrap this whole reading up with the message that is on the other side of this card. But so that you would still be able to make sense of this pile and whether this pile is really for you, we do have a mini oracle card portion to look at as well. So these messages should describe something that you have experienced recently. So if that sounds like you, if these messages are resonating with you and your recent past, it's a very good indication that this is your pile. So let's see. Okay, we have the Rose, Emotions, and the Deer. So pile number 2, before we get into the messages, I think I forgot to give you a bit of a heads up that this is going to be a long one, okay? So please get comfy, get settled in, and take what you need to hang in there. But yeah, we have a lot of ground to cover, so let's get started with the cards here. So all of these 3 cards are giving me a lot of vibes of emotions and commitments and just sort of being devoted to something, feeling very strongly about something. Obviously, I'm going to start off with the center card here because it is actually saying the word emotions. So it feels like within your recent past or at this time, whatever you have gone through recently, it is something that makes you feel a very certain kind of way, in a very strong way. And I do feel that your emotions have been activated or they have really been turned to the max, I even want to say. And I do feel that for the most part, these emotions seem to be positive. They seem to be good. But obviously, life has its ups and downs, right? We cannot always be happy and joyful about everything. And so clearly, whatever this thing is that has caused you to feel a very strong sensation or to feel a certain kind of way, whether it is a person, whether it is something that you have experienced, whether it is some sort of a wish, a dream of some kind, something that you are hoping to have one day, or whether it is something that you have actually attained recently. Emotions, especially like going through these ups and downs, is something that has been a really prevalent thing for you. Now the Rose is here as the first card, and again it's tying me back to the whole notion of this unfolding rose, or this this beautiful, romantic, loving, affectionate sort of energy. So it does seem like you have recently experienced something that has caused these feelings to come about in you or to come to the surface. You may just in general be feeling a lot more affectionate or loving lately, or like you are feeling certain emotions crop to the surface and you want to express them, you need to express them, and you need to share some of these feelings with someone. Even if you are not romantically tied to anyone, or you don't have any potential romantic relationships on the horizon, it could simply be that you are feeling more affectionate towards your friends, towards your family, maybe towards your pets as well if you have them. It just feels like you are in this more emotional and affectionate place right now. And with the deer as well, you seem to be operating in a place where you feel this strong sense of commitment or responsibility, and I feel like you have this loyalty. So again, most likely this is talking about a certain person or a certain relationship in your life that you have either recently started to prioritize even more than you have in the past, or it's simply talking about the mentality or how some of these commitments that exist in your life have become more important or have become more center stage for you recently. And maybe the deer is again symbolizing just generally the commitments that you have in your life, and where you may be reprioritizing certain things, or where you may be rethinking certain things, and sort of going through this emotional roller coaster. As I said, for the most part, I feel like these emotions that are cropping up for you have been more positive, have been more hopeful, have been more tied to this abundant, loving, or generous energy that you seem to possess right now. But also, it can simply talk about just the, again, sort of going through the different emotional ups and downs that you are thinking of when it comes to the responsibilities that exist in your life, or the commitments that you have in your life. And maybe with this whole notion of the rose opening up, there may be certain truths or realizations that you are getting as well, where you may be feeling like, like maybe you are starting to feel a different sort of way, or maybe, you are realizing certain things about something in your life that you haven't realized before, or certain feelings may be getting stronger at this time, even if you have realized something in the past already. I feel like recently something has been really highlighted for you where it's almost impossible to ignore now. So that is really what is coming through from these oracle cards, pile number 2. But as I said, this is the sort of the mini oracle card portion. So if you could resonate with that part at all, then definitely stay tuned, because it's very likely that this is your pile. And stick around for the most exciting part that we're going to get into now. So we are going to take a look at the next 3 months. And we're first going to get some tea leaf oracle cards out to give us some messages, just some general themes that will come up for you within the next 3 months. So let's see. Whoa. Okay. That was really quick, and you ended up getting some more cards, but we are taking them. Okay. So I don't know what is with me right now, but I feel like my head is all over the place. So I once again forgot to give you a little disclaimer about these oracle cards. If you have never seen the tea leaf oracle cards before, then just to give you a fair warning, some of these cards may sound more dramatic than they actually are. And even if they're not dramatic, please just take these messages with a grain of salt. This is all supposed to be fun and sort of lighthearted, so don't get stuck in any messages too strongly, okay? But let's get into it, because like all of your cards really are coming through rather positive. And starting off with the first card here, you actually get a theme card. So this card is representing a larger theme which obviously says success. So I do feel that, generally speaking, the next 3 months are going to be successful for you. Or you may encounter, there may be one specific event or a situation that happens where you experience the feeling of success, where things go exactly as you want them to, or you just feel accomplished. You feel like you have done something, like you have achieved something major. Or you may experience success through someone else, through a loved one. But either way, success seems to be a really important keyword for you within the next 3 months. Now, we also have the card that says bag, something important, such as a new job or a raise. And it could very well be that that is something that is happening for you. But again, this could also happen to someone that you love. And the reason why I'm adding that, I don't know why I feel the need to add that, but I do get the sense that there is some sort of a relationship or a connection that you have with someone that is very significant. Because I guess it's tied to all of the messages that were coming through from the oracle card portion as well, which seemed to indicate that there is a lot of emotion and there is a lot of sort of affection and all of these commitments that are relevant for you right now. So maybe that's the reason why I feel that some of these messages may not specifically resonate for you personally, but you may experience them through a loved one or through someone that you have a very sort of strong connection with. But anyway, something important such as a new job or a raise. Yeah, it may be very literal in its meaning. It may indicate that that's exactly what is being offered to you, or again, to a loved one. But it could also say that within the next 3 months, there is an important sort of stepping stone or an important opportunity to level up in some way, or to expand whatever it is that you are doing or whatever it is that you have right now. And the reason why I also feel that that may be the case is because of this ring card. We have a marriage will take place, either romantic or business. So yeah, it could be this, again, as I said, this leveling up or this making something more solid, making something more serious that may take place. Again, it may be on a business level, or it may be, again, romantic as it says. And this may also indicate that the marriage that is happening, or the unification of forces that is happening, may not be happening to you. It may be happening to someone around you. So especially if you have a wedding that you are attending, or someone that you care for, someone that you love is going to be taking that huge step in their life, then very clearly this card is most likely talking about them. But yeah, regardless, with both of these cards being right next to each other like this, I do feel that within the next 3 months, actually looking at the whole first row here, it does seem that there is some sort of leveling up, some sort of expansion, some sort of unification of forces, or coming together with someone that adds to your life, that adds to your current state. And there is the possibility, the opportunity to actually grow and become more abundant. Now, we also have this grasshopper, which says situations in the balance that require careful handling. It does indicate that within the next 3 months, there may be a situation, or maybe several of them, that need you to be delicate, that need you to use diplomacy and really think about the consequences of your actions. So there may be certain situations that occur where you may feel under pressure a bit, but obviously that's life, right? That's just the way things are. Sometimes things are a bit stressful, but again, I don't see any threatening or any negative cards whatsoever. So I do feel that whatever this thing is, especially because it's next to the success card as well, most likely you are going to come out of the situation with flying colors and everything is going to work out just fine. So yeah, there may just be a situation where you feel slightly under pressure, or where you feel like you need to be very careful, you need to tread very carefully and think about every single step that you are making. Now, we also have this handshake, which says a meeting with a stranger could be important. So yeah, this is indicating that within the next 3 months, you may come across someone that obviously is either a stranger or that you just don't know that well. It may be a person that is known by someone that you know, or, you know, it may be like a friend of a friend of a friend or something like that. But yeah, it does seem like there is a very important meeting that is occurring within the next 3 months that could lead to some either exciting opportunities that may be opening doors for you down the line as well, or that could just lead to exciting experiences. And I also feel that it's interesting because we have this hat card which says you will be playing a different role, and it's next to all of the cards that also say about or that also talk about getting offered a new job or a raise, or possibly uniting forces in a business sense as well. So yeah, with this hat, you will be playing a different role. It may mean that actually this meeting that you have could lead to stepping into a new position of some kind, or being offered a new position, like career-wise. But again, if you I don't know, maybe you yourself are getting married within the next 3 months. If that is the case for you, then obviously this card is talking about you stepping into a whole new role, because that's really what happens, right? You get a new role as someone's spouse, if that's what is happening. Or let's say that this is talking about a business sort of thing, then it may be that you become someone's business partner, or you become someone's boss if you are offered a raise or a promotion of some kind, where maybe you now have subordinates, or you have people that you are responsible for, some sort of team that you have to manage. And in that sense, you are given a whole new role where maybe you are not just a co-worker anymore, but you are someone's boss, you are someone's supervisor. So obviously, whatever the case, it does feel like within the next 3 months, there is going to be somewhat of a shift in what you do, or who you are, or what sort of a title you have, I also want to say as well. Finally, we have this dolphin card, financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. See, so I do feel that, again, we get confirmation that there is going to be some sort of expansion happening, or maybe some very literal monetary gains as well, something that is going to be paying off. And again, as it says, it's due to something that you have done in the past. So it's just an indication that within the next 3 months, some of the hard work that you have put in the past may yield rewards and results within the next 3 months. So especially if you have been waiting for something to actually pay off, actually reap some sort of rewards, if you have been waiting patiently for something to manifest, then it may very well be that happens within the next 3 months. But pile number 2, this was just the first part of the reading and looking at your next 3 months. So I'm going to scoop up the cards now so that we would have room for the next part of this reading, where we are going to take a look at each of the 3 months more closely. And we are going to start off with some dice. So the way that this is going to go is, you obviously can see that these are in a bag. I'm going to pick out, with my left hand, 3 of the dice for each pile. And then we're also going to open those up with some tarot cards as well. So as I said, we have a long way to go, so get ready. But let's look at the first month and some of the themes or important keywords that you will encounter. Ooh, wow, okay. Those 3 really wanted to come out. They almost jumped out. So we have a hand, we have a shooting star, and we have a rainbow. But it feels like the first month may go by in a bit of a blur, or it may feel almost like a dream. There is something fantastical about it, or something that has a bit of a dream-like quality. And I do feel like it's going to go by really quickly. Now, I do want to start off with the first card here, which is the Hand. And it's taking me back to the card with the handshake, which was saying that you're going to meet someone important, or a meeting with a stranger could be important. So it may mean that within the first month is when this meeting takes place, or it may simply mean that you are actually getting some sort of handout, because again, I'm looking at the hand and I feel like it's almost like this palm, which is turned upright, and it's waiting for something to be put into the hand or put into the palm. So you could be receiving something within the first month. I mean, take your pick. We have all of these different cards indicating success and getting some sort of offer, getting some sort of opportunity or a promotion, or getting some sort of financial gains. I do have to say, I don't know why I'm not necessarily feeling that the financial gain is going to come in the first month. I do feel like it's more tied to just an opportunity or something that is being offered to you. But we also have this shooting star, which again, by the way, goes beautifully with the success card as well. But this shooting star is making me feel like you are going to be given some sort of opportunity that may not be there for a very long time, or it may be something again that you have been wishing for. So maybe some sort of wish fulfillment is going to manifest, or something that may even have appeared to be impossible at one time. That may be something that you are offered now. Or again, it could indicate that whatever this offer or opportunity is that you are given is something that is beyond your wildest dreams, or is something that has the potential to take you to some new heights, to some new levels, to like kind of shoot you to the stars. But I do feel like it's just the beginning of something, and it's going to sort of grow into something more as time goes on. But yeah, I do feel like within the first month is when you are just sort of given the opportunity, or when the idea is presented to you or something like that. And we also have this rainbow. And so again, this rainbow is really what is making me think that this whole month is somewhat of a dream, and it's kind of fantastical, or there is something fantastical about it. And I also feel, because rainbows obviously follow rain, that it may indicate that there is some sort of easing up, or something again becomes more enjoyable, something gets easier after a potentially more difficult time, or a more confusing time. Especially I'm looking at the cloud here as well, and clouds can indicate or symbolize things being a bit more hazy, things being unclear or clouded, and not having a lot of visibility. So it may be that, again, within the first month, something is starting to turn around, something is becoming a bit more clear. But let's see what we get with these tarot cards. Wow. Okay. So we have the Fool that is coming out in reverse, the Queen of Pentacles that is coming out in reverse, and the Two of Wands. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the Fool card. The Fool in reverse is indicating that there may be something that comes about that you haven't even dared take on before. So I'm kind of feeling a connection to the opportunity that may come your way, or again, the meeting that may be really important down the line. So with the Fool in reverse, because we're still getting the Fool card, so it does indicate some sort of exciting new beginning, or a journey or a path that is available to you. But because it's coming out in reverse, there seems to be some sort of hesitation or fear or doubt that is tied into this. So again, I feel like the opportunity that you get, it may at first kind of throw you off, or it may seem too big to tackle, or you may start doubting whether you have what it takes. This Queen of Pentacles is making me think that this is talking about you, the Queen of Pentacles here. And it's also coming out in reverse, which indicates that there may be certain doubts or hesitations regarding your self-worth, or whether you have what it takes. Because the Queen of Pentacles, when it comes out in reverse, it can be somewhat like self-deprecating, or lacking self-assurance. And especially when it comes to self-worth, because we're dealing with the Pentacle suit here. So maybe that is something that is somewhat triggered in you with this opportunity, or with this suggestion that you are getting with this idea. So you may feel somewhat hesitant to actually do that. And especially because I feel like it's tied to more responsibility, or it could put you in a position where you have to either be more visible or be more in charge or something like that. But we are ending these 3 cards here with a 2 of Wands. And this is saying that I do feel that you are going to sort of think about it, or you're going to start considering it, because the 2 of Wands is a card of planning. And so clearly within the first month, there is going to be a lot of focus on visualizing, on imagining how things would be and what they would look like if you were to follow a certain path and venture out of the comfort zone. Again, the 2 of Wands is indicating that you are not making any moves just yet. The Fool in reverse is also saying that you are not necessarily embarking on anything just yet. But I do feel that you are starting to toy around with the idea. You're starting to fantasize about it. You're starting to dream up the possibilities and visualize how things could potentially turn out in the future. And again, with the 2 of Wands, it's kind of a confirmation that there is going to be some sort of opportunity or some sort of possibility that you are presented with, that you are going to have to decide whether you take up or you don't. Because again, the 2 of Wands indicates a decision needing to be made, or some sort of 2 choices on the table. So all in all, I feel like the first month is not going to be that hectic and that action-packed, but I do feel that it is going to give you a lot to think about, give you a lot to consider, and I feel like it is going to go by quite quickly, as I already said. So let's look at the second month and see what we get from there. Okay, so there we go. I feel like these 3 wanted to come out, so let's see. Wow, okay. We have a light bulb, a learner's sign, or I'm not sure exactly how that's called. And we also have a magic wand. Okay, interesting. See, so I do feel like in the second month, you may see something that actually manifests some of these beautiful things coming in. And I'm kind of jumping ahead here. I do feel that very strongly with the magic wand, because this just screams manifestation to me, or something kind of wonderful actually coming to life. So I do feel like you are going to really enjoy something very deeply in the second month, or that there is going to be a really beautiful, positive surprise. But I also feel like, again, the second month could bring about this whole stepping into a new role thing, where you have to sort of learn something from scratch, or come to terms with a new sort of being, some new responsibilities, some new tasks. With this, it definitely feels like you are being put in this student position, or again, where you have to learn as you go, where you have to figure things out as you go, and where you don't have the possibility to lean on previous experience. So I do feel that, again, it's taking me back to this hat card, where most likely you are kind of having to adapt and develop and grow in the situation that you are put in. And obviously we also have this light bulb, and so that could very well be tied to coming up with solutions, coming up with answers, or seeking information, starting to get more clear on things, or find some things out that you haven't known before. But I also feel that it's talking about clarity in general. So whereas the first month felt like it was something that you are still having to consider, there are things that you are contemplating and going back and forth on, possibly trying to make your mind up about, I feel like in the second month, there is some sort of clarity that hits you, something where you know what you need to do, or you know what you want. And there is a level of determination that I feel, so that even as you realize that there is something that you are going to have to learn. There is something that you're going to have to step out of your comfort zone for. I feel like in the end, you kind of decide that it's worth it. And so this may also be tied to this ring energy, where you decide to commit to something, or where you decide to say yes to something, say yes to an opportunity, or unify your forces with someone, or yeah, anything like that. But let's also see what sort of tarot cards we get. Okay. So I'm not sure how to take it, because the Wheel of Fortune actually, I feel like it came out upright, but then it got reversed in the whole commotion thing. But anyway, I'm just gonna keep it as it is. Oh, and I also wanted to show you the underlying energy, because I'm not really focusing on the underlying energy in this reading because it would just take way too long. But the Three of Wands is the underlying energy, which I feel is so kind of funny, because the second month was ending with the Two of Wands, and now we are moving on to the Three of Wands, which is actually, again, like taking some action and moving forward with a new direction. But the cards that you got are the Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and the Eight of Swords. So honestly, these three cards really seem to speak to some sort of inner processes that you seem to be going through in the second month. Because with the Hermit being the first card, it does seem like there is a lot that you are going through internally, that you are, again, clearly having some sort of illumination, or where you are seeing things a lot more clearly. And I feel like it's tied to some of these things that have either held you back before, or where you have felt like you are not sure whether you have it in you or whether you should take any steps. I mean, both of these cards are very much talking about staying stuck or feeling reluctant to make any moves. Now, I do have to say with this Wheel of Fortune, it came out in reverse, but I do feel like a very strong pull towards the Wheel of Fortune being upright. But if I'm being completely honest, I cannot tell whether it's because I want it to be upright, or whether it's because it actually should be upright. So I'm just going to leave it as is, because I don't want to mix anything into this. But as I said, I do feel like it should be upright, like it's talking about, or it's tying into this magic wand energy as well, where something positive that you have been waiting for is going to come around, or where you see certain results. So I do still feel like throwing that in there, even though we're getting the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. But I also feel that both of these cards could talk about this situation where you have to deal with a delicate or a situation that is in some sort of a fragile balance, like we were looking at with the grasshopper. So it may be that there is a situation that comes up within the second month where, again, you have to sort of tread carefully, where you have to be really cautious about what you say and how you deal with something, because I do feel that with the Wheel of Fortune, it is indicating that there are some sort of consequences or things that may be outside of your control. And so with this Eight of Swords, it may indicate that within the second month, if you are faced with a situation that needs some sort of delicate handling, you could be feeling like you are somewhat boxed in, or like you don't have that many options, or like the moves that you get to make are somewhat limited, or like your hands are tied. But I do feel that, again, with the Hermit being here, and also with the Three of Wands that was the underlying energy, I do feel like I kind of need to factor that in, because both of those cards are indicating that there is going to be something that you figure out, somehow that you are going to be making moves forward, and sort of playing yourself out of this stalemate or restricted, cornered energy. I also want to add, with the Hermit card, I do feel that in the second month you may be more not necessarily isolated, but just you may feel this this pull to handle things on your own, to come up with solutions on your own, where you may be turning more inwards, and maybe shutting some people out, or shutting external things out, so that you could come to solutions on your own, so that you could make sense of things on your own. So there is this independence that I do feel within the second month that seems to be more prevalent. Because especially with the L and the light bulb as well, I feel like there is something about you wanting to figure things out on your own, and you feeling this almost this like inner pressure to learn by yourself. And obviously you can't really learn if there is someone else who is handling things for you. And so I feel like there is this personal pressure to do something on your own, to experience things on your own, and to do them in your own way, that you may feel that is like pushing you out of this space where you have been previously, where you haven't dared take certain steps. But I feel like now in the second month there is this courage, or this light that comes, the light that comes on, or this spark that happens that pushes you to actually start making some moves. So I feel like the second month is actually really important, or like it's it's like a catalyst for something bigger. So yeah, interesting. But let's also take a look at the last month, or the third month. Wow, okay. Interesting. So we have the mask, or it looks kind of like a UFO or alien. We also have a flower and an apple. Yeah, I do get the sense that the third month is really the month where you may experience more of these like financial gains, and more of these sort of positive surprises coming in. And I do feel that, well, mostly with the apple, but both of these actually, let me see how you would see them. Both the apple and flower are giving me the vibes of something beautiful coming to life, or blooming, or reaping rewards, right? And especially with the flower, I do feel that it's hinting at things that have taken a while to grow, that have taken some nurturing. So it's tying me back to this dolphin card, which says that the financial gain that you are getting, or some sort of rewards, are tied to something that you have done in the past. So I do feel that it's talking about the past efforts, and the apple is obviously the rewards, or the fruits of your labor that you, I feel, get to see in the third month. And also with the alien here, again, it may tie to or it may be tied to the notion of these rewards being somewhat like otherworldly or unexpected, where they may be sort of exceeding what you have been hoping for. They may even come in a surprising format. But I also look at this, and even though it reminds me a lot of an alien, I do feel that there is also a connection to a mask, which is taking me back to this hat image again, or this hat message, which was talking about you adopting a new role, or stepping into a new role. And I do feel that, again, in the second month, it feels like you are sort of coming to this clarity, or you are making up your mind about something and starting to take concrete steps, and starting to learn and adapt to this new role. But I feel like within the third month, you seem to be like stepping into it more fully, or embracing it more fully, starting to feel more natural in it, and starting to really like grow and bloom and take off. So I am really excited for this third month for you, pile number 2. And obviously, especially because it seems to be flowing in this beautifully organic sort of a rhythm. Yeah. Oh, and also with the flower, especially if there is some sort of wedding or celebration of that kind happening, that may happen in the third month for you. So I just wanted to put that out there too. But let's look at the tarot cards. Whoa. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting cards that we are getting. Pile number 2. Very, very unexpected. So, oh, sorry. This was first, I feel, and then maybe like this. But anyway, you got the King of Cups in reverse that came out first. We also have the Tower in reverse and the Ten of Swords in reverse. So I actually feel that all of these cards are talking about the past experiences that you have had, and that you are now like experiencing these rewards from or for. The King of Cups in reverse is indicating that there seems to be some sort of an emotional situation or something that you maybe couldn't really get over for a while, or that left a really deep mark in you. The King of Cups in reverse is very emotional and sensitive, and I do feel that it's not necessarily talking about you, but I do feel that it's hinting at whatever this thing was that you did experience that was maybe more of a difficult thing as well. It may have been difficult specifically emotionally speaking, or it may have had to do with a relationship of some kind, or maybe there were some difficulties within the relationship, within the specific person that you had this relationship with. Now, I'm also kind of being brought back to this rainbow die here too, because as I said, it felt like it was talking about maybe having experienced more of these challenging times or more of these difficult times, which would also kind of explain why this emotional fluctuation and all of that was coming through from the Oracle card part. But anyway, coming back to the third month, I do feel that with the Tower in reverse and the Ten of Swords in reverse, it seems to indicate that whatever this difficult emotional time was for you, and clearly with the Tower and the Ten of Swords, I feel like it was really difficult. There is something about having gone through that difficult struggle or challenging time and coming out the other side of it that I feel is where some of these rewards are going to be coming in. And with the Tower in reverse and the Ten of Swords in reverse, I also want to add that you may be sort of rebuilding something or coming back from something that completely changed your way of seeing things, or that had this really dramatic effect on you and how you see the world, and maybe even how you perceived yourself. This whole thing may have a tie to this Queen of Pentacles in reverse, where, you know, we had some self-worth doubts or feeling like maybe you don't have what it takes. I feel like there is this, again, this like feeling more confident with this new role, or feeling more confident with who you are becoming and who you are stepping into because of everything that you have gone through and how much you feel grown, or how much you feel this sense of having leveled up after all of those things. And so, yeah, you seem to be building something completely new, or growing into this whole new version of you, and embracing who you are becoming, embracing this new you. And I feel like as you do that, you are starting to, again, open up more to certain possibilities, certain opportunities, starting to say yes to more things, because all of this that seems to, again, hint at some of the things that have occurred in the past. I feel like it was very heavily tied to some of the reasons or some of the things that were also keeping you back, that were keeping you down. And it definitely feels like you're starting to leave all of that behind now. So pile number 2, very, very interesting energies coming through. I do hope that these messages made sense to you, but we are also going to get some advice cards from these Oracle cards as well from Spirit regarding this whole reading that we have gone through. And then, of course, we are also going to look at the card that you chose. So let's see what sort of advice we get. Okay. You are getting more cards, but let's just take all of them. So we have, I'm not underestimating my own magic anymore. Magic, power, beginnings, transformation. Oh my goodness. Pile number 2, yeah. I feel like this is Spirit saying that you should definitely stop underestimating yourself. I feel like some of you are actually moving away from that, and you are already making strides in the right direction, but for some of you it may still be a difficult thing to do, or you may still be struggling with the with the aftermath of everything that you have gone through. But yeah, I mean, I'm loving the messages on this card, because it seems to be encouragement from spirit to allow the transformation to happen, to embrace this more self-empowered and self-loving version of you that you are becoming. Yeah, power, beginnings, and transformation. I do definitely feel from, like, as we have seen from all of these messages as well, that you are definitely embracing certain beginnings. You are definitely starting to turn things around for the better, and yeah, transforming your life, taking back your power, and just starting to see things in a more positive light again. So I really, really like that. We also have, you don't need it all figured out. The gifted guide, stars, chaos, opportunity. I'm loving that you actually get the keyword of opportunity, because obviously that is a very important word that we have been using throughout this whole reading. The message of getting certain opportunities is clearly relevant here. And this is just spirit, again, encouraging you that you don't need to see exactly where things are going to lead. You don't need to plan every single step ahead. I feel like, yeah, like some of these things you can't really plan for. Some of these things you just, again, have to figure out as you go. And I feel like you are going to get there. And finally, we have, your energy is valuable, protect it well. The protectress, strength, boundaries, amulet. So this is just spirit's way of reminding you that you have so much value, and that you should be, again, careful with whom you share it with, and how you spend it, who you allow to be a part of it, and all of that. So yeah, I feel like the message of boundaries may be important for someone here, because pile number 2, you deserve everything that you want. You deserve to be seen and appreciated, and your energy and all of your love and affection that I feel like you have so much to give, that should also be respected and valued and cherished. But pile number 2, the time has come to look at the card that you chose. So let's see what sort of message we have. Oh my goodness. This is the perfect card to end this whole reading with, because obviously other people and your connections to other people have been such a key theme. And this whole reading started out with feeling very heavily tied to other people and your connection to someone or to other people. And the card that we have is, what others think of you is none of your business. So again, a massively self-empowering and uplifting energy, in the sense that you really shouldn't waste your energy, waste your time, waste your resources on what other people are thinking about you. And I feel an especially important message for someone who may be trying to please certain people or a certain person. So if you resonate with that, if you recognize that you may be trying to be a very specific sort of way so that you could please someone else, especially if it's not actually true to you, I feel like this message is especially important to you. And I feel like Spirit really wants you to consider your own value, your own worth, and the value of your uniqueness, the value of your authenticity, right? So yeah, I don't know, this is such a badass message of just not being overly bothered, not being overly concerned with being a specific way, or needing to make someone else happy, needing to make someone else pleased with how you are being. And especially if you are holding yourself back, if you are keeping yourself from trying things that you would really like to experience just because of what other people might say, or because you are afraid of how people may react, or what they may think about you. I feel like especially in that case, This message is Spirit's way of giving you a little nudge in the butt and saying that truly you are on this path in this life for you. You are meant to go through certain experiences because they offer certain value to you, and really just do the things, try the things, give things a chance. Because ultimately, especially with the Hermit, I feel like there's something about needing to be true to you, needing to honor your inner compass and follow it, and open yourself up to all of these amazing things that I feel like Spirit really wants to bring you. So yeah, oh my goodness, pile number 2. This was such a long one. I do apologize. And the camera is out of focus again, of course. And of course, I'm going to mess up the cards as well. But anyway, okay, it's time to wrap it up. I'm so grateful that you have made it all the way to this point. If you have made it all the way to this point and you managed to watch all of these messages and you got something from them, they made sense to you, leave me a dolphin. Leave me a little dolphin emoji down in the comment section. I really hope that there is a dolphin emoji. But anyway, leave me a little emoji down in the comment section so that I would know that you made it all the way to this point. And yeah, I would love to see you in the comment section, connect with you there. But pile number 2, thank you so much. I also hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight and fun. And I hope that you had fun with this one. And as always, please take care of yourselves. And I hope to see you very soon. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 3. My name is Helen and I am so grateful that you have chosen to spend your time with me and tune in. I hope that you are as excited for this reading as I am, because you may have already gathered from the intro that things are a bit different today. We are going about this reading in somewhat of a different way. I don't know why I couldn't think of another word for different, but anyway. So yeah, we are shaking things up a bit, and the card that you chose is actually going to remain right here until the very end of the reading, where we are going to finally reveal what the message behind this card is, and that will be like a nice little wrap-up message. But so that you could still make sense of this pile and whether this is actually for you, we are going to start off with a mini oracle card portion, and we are going to take a look at something that you have experienced recently. So as you are listening to these messages, you should recognize yourself and your recent past from them. So let's see what we get. Okay, we have the Candle, Endings, and the Hummingbird. Okay, so pile number 3, looking at these cards, it is quite clear that you have gone through something quite challenging, and I feel like now you have come out on the other end. But yeah, it definitely feels like you have had some difficult times. I mean, I'm going to start off with the center card here, which says very literally endings on it. So very literally, it is hinting at you going through some sort of an ending. Something has either left your life or something has morphed into a different sort of thing than it was before. And yeah, I feel like with the Candle here, there's something about finding light or finding hope, finding meaning. I'm also getting an essence of saying goodbye, like lighting a candle in the name of something or to honor something. So both of these cards actually are giving me a certain energy of grief. And I'm not saying that it has had to be a very physical sort of saying goodbye or a very physical sort of ending, but it definitely feels like there has been a certain procedure that you have gone through where the feeling of grief or the feeling of sadness of having to leave something behind, of having to let something go or change into a new way of being and adapt to the newness, there is something somewhat sad about it. But I also feel that with the Hummingbird, this is really what's giving me the sense of hope or the sense of coming out the other side and sort of being able to rise up again. because the hummingbird has a lot of hope and a lot of resilience about it. And even the way that this hummingbird is depicted on this card, it's looking upward, and it's taking up into the air. It's soaring. It's opening up its wings, and yeah, I feel like this whole experience has leveled you up in some way, or it has opened up something new for you. And even though I feel like it's still very fresh, I feel like there is quite a lot yet to discover. There is quite a lot to make sense of and possibly make peace with as well. Because I do feel with the candle, these two are so contradictory in their energies. It almost feels like you still have one foot in and one foot out, and it's almost like this, like you are stepping through the portal, or you are standing in the archway right now, if I can say it that way. You still seem to have quite strong emotion tied to whatever this thing is that you have had to say goodbye to, or that you have had to adjust to having changed. But also, it feels like you are able to understand that it's time to look forward. It's time to look toward the future. So there's just something very hopeful about the hummingbird that I feel. And yeah, that's really the mini oracle card portion that should hopefully give you some sort of inkling that this is your pile. So if you could recognize yourself in this, if that is relevant to what you are experiencing right now, what you have gone through recently, then stick around for the next messages, because now we're really going to get into it. And we're going to start off with the tea leaf oracle cards. We're going to get some cards out to get a glimpse of some of the themes that are going to be coming up for you within the next 3 months. So let's see what we get. Okay, so way too many cards, but we are going to take them. So let's see what we have. So pile number 3, all in all, it looks like a very positive sort of 3 months. I don't see anything too dramatic coming out over here, but let's just get straight into it. So the first card out is the Sun with happiness and well-being. So it's clear that there are going to be certain moments within those 3 months where you are feeling happy and where you are feeling really good about either yourself or your life, or how something is turning out. So it just feels that you are going to have vitality and this sense of feeling that everything is good and everything is as it should be. Now, obviously, this may talk to a specific scenario, a specific event, or a specific moment where you experience this more fully. So it's most likely not going to be that you are going to feel this throughout the whole of the 3 months. It just wouldn't really be feasible, I feel. But yeah, anyway, there is definitely going to be something that causes you to experience this sense of joy and fulfillment. So yeah, it feels like maybe you are going to be doing something or taking part of something that offers you this feeling of happiness and well-being. Now, we also have Mountain Road, you are on the road to success. So I do love that, because I do feel that it's saying that within the next 3 months, you are going to feel that things are starting to gradually get better and that you are moving in the right direction. Especially, I feel that it's such a hopeful message, because having gone through the mini oracle portion, it definitely feels like you haven't had the easiest time up to this point. And so feeling like things are starting to slowly but surely get better or move in the right direction again, I feel that there is a lot of hope in that again. Now, we also have this dog far away, a distant friend is thinking of you. And I'm kind of jumping ahead here as well, because we have this lily with spiritual love. So I do feel that these cards could go hand in hand. But yeah, with this dog far away, it definitely feels like there is support and well wishes that are around you, even if they are not physically close to you, because again, this card is usually hinting at someone that you don't see very often, that you don't maybe speak to on a regular basis, but it's still someone who is thinking about you and who is wanting you to do well. So again, considering the cards that we looked at in the oracle card portion, it makes sense that there are people who are thinking about you and sort of sending you good wishes. But the spiritual love card as well is hinting at people being supportive of you, people wanting to help you or be there for you. And again, you know, this card always makes me think of like family and friends, but of course it can also talk about your partner if you are in a relationship with someone. But either way, it's just this really nice and sweet and soft energy of again, people being there for you and feeling this level of having someone there. Now, we do have this mice card as well, which is kind of the only card here, which is hinting at any sort of an issue. And it says discord among family and friends, or friends or family. So yeah, it may hint at some sort of a misunderstanding, or where people are having a hard time seeing eye to eye or coming to some sort of an agreement. And it may be something that you yourself are involved in, or it may be something that you are surrounded by. But either way, it definitely feels like it's a bit of a minor thing, and it seems to be something that blows over quite quickly, but you may experience this kind of annoyance. Maybe there is some sort of a disagreement regarding how something should be handled, or what sort of approach should be had regarding how you want to do something. Now, then the next card here is get back to the basics. And I do feel that there is a connection between these two cards. If I'm not mistaken, these cards flew out together as well. And this get back to the basics card is kind of just hinting at possibly needing to take a step back and kind of zoom out of everything, especially when it comes to this disagreement. So there may be some instances where you may need to take some time for yourself, where you may need to distance yourself if there is any drama around you, or even if you are in the middle of this discord or having this disagreement with your family or friends. Yeah, it may be that you need some time to gather your thoughts and calm yourself down and ground yourself and really figure out what it is that you are feeling and dealing with. But again, generally, I feel like this whole discord thing or this disagreement thing is such a minor issue, and generally it feels like everything is going to work out quite quickly. And finally, we have this fair woman card, which says dealings or relationship with a woman with blonde, grey or white hair. Now, these people cards are really specific, and I wouldn't get too attached to them, and I wouldn't take these overly seriously. But this may hint at a certain woman in your life being significant, or having more of an emphasis during those 3 months. Maybe they are the person who is most supportive of you. Maybe they are this distant friend who is thinking of you. Maybe they are part of your family, or the friendship group. But you know, however this resonates for you, this is most likely some sort of an important female figure in your life, and they seem to have more of an emphasis for you within those next 3 months. But as I said, we have quite a lot to go through, so we are going to take a look at the next 3 months more closely as well. So this was just the sort of overall themes, or some of the messages, the key messages that were coming through. And now we are going to take a look at each of the months separately. And the way that we're going to do this is we are first going to get some dice out, and then we're going to open up the messages on the dice with some tarot cards as well. So yeah, I'm going to choose the dice with my left hand, my non-dominant hand, and let's see what we find out about your first month. Okay, so we have a worried looking face, an eye, and a moon. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised at all if within the first month is when that discord actually happens, or when it takes place, because it's interesting that I think I even mentioned that there was some sort of difficulty with seeing eye to eye, and we're actually getting an eye. And when I saw it, that was the first thing that came to me. As well as with the moon, it's a very clear indication that there are lots of emotions at play, and emotions may be somewhat overwhelming, somewhat clouding everything. And yeah, and I mean, with the sad little face here as well. I'm going to try and show these more closely as well, but sometimes the camera doesn't really want to focus. But yeah, with this face as well, it feels like there could be certain, again, just certain annoyances or certain negative feelings that come up relating to this discord, or just seeing some sort of drama either as an observer, or somehow getting like in the middle of it, because clearly when it's your friends or family, it's the people that you love, it's the people that you care about, it's the people that you have strong emotions for. So it definitely impacts you either way. But I also feel with this eye that there could be something that becomes really evident or very clear. Maybe there is some sort of illumination that happens, or some sort of information that is revealed, something that you learn about. So it could also be some sort of an eye-opening moment that happens, and something that changes the way that you feel about things. It could also talk to that. But let's take a look at some of these tarot cards to open these dice up. Okay, so we have Ace of Wands, Strength, and the High Priestess. So we're getting two major arcana cards, and both of them are rather spiritual. Okay, so the first thing I want to quickly go over is the last message that I just talked about, which is finding out something or seeing something in a new light. And the reason why I feel that that may really be the case is because of this Ace of Wands, which can talk about a new idea or some sort of message coming your way. And usually with the Ace of Wands, it definitely sparks something in you. And now, because we have the Strength and the High Priestess cards out as well, it could talk about you, again, having certain strong feelings about this idea, this topic, this suggestion, or this just piece of information. It could even just be that. But with the Strength card, it definitely feels like it possibly triggers something in you where you have to really fight the urge to react or to respond. With the High Priestess as well, it's a very spiritual card, as I already said, and so it can bring about these feelings in you, maybe bring something to the surface that you haven't really dealt with before, or that you haven't acknowledged before. And it may also be something that, as I already said, causes you to see something in a different way. So it may have this more spiritual, more profound effect on you. But as I said, it definitely feels like emotions are at play during the first month, and they can be quite heightened, because the Ace of Wands is talking about like raw passion or raw emotion, raw feeling. And it's usually, because we're dealing with the fire element, it's usually much more sort of active or much more noticeable in nature, whereas the Cup suit, which can also talk about emotions, right, is much more mellow and much more sort of internal. The Ace of Wands is usually sort of outwards. It's more visible. It's more difficult to contain. And again, with Strength and the High Priestess, it definitely feels like you are working through something, you are coming to terms with something. And possibly because of this Strength card, I also feel that you, again, may be put in the position where you have to be kind of like the middleman, or the one who like calms everyone down, or kind of steps in. Especially again, if this discord thing does happen for you in the first month, then again, the Strength card could hint at you needing to be the one who keeps a calm head and keeps their composure, sort of steps in and make sure that things don't, you know, go too far, so to say. And the High Priestess, again, I also feel like there is some sort of wisdom that you have to share, and maybe you are put in a position where you can share something that really like strikes a chord with other people. And yeah, so maybe through things that you yourself have experienced within the first month, you may be able to share something that, like really has a profound or an illuminating effect for other people too. But anyway, let's take a look at the second month. Okay. Okay, interesting. So we have a, oh my God, can't think of the word for this, but anyway, there is also a sleeping guy, and then, looking glass. I think it's a magnifying glass. That's the thing. It's a magnifying glass. There is also someone who is sleeping, and then there are these theatrical masks. So during the second month, it definitely feels like the second month could be the time where you sort of take a step back a bit and distance yourself from some of the, again, most likely some of the drama that is occurring or that has occurred. Because I'm gonna start off with this one here with these theatrical masks. It's very strongly giving me drama vibes. So it's likely that the aftermath of the drama, which definitely for some of you is occurring in the first month, I feel like there could still be something that is carried over to the second month, but I feel like mostly it's tied to you sort of distancing yourself from it, or starting to, work on calming things down. Because I also feel that with this one here, it's definitely talking about you taking some time off and really focusing on resting and switching off, taking the time that you need to kind of recalibrate yourself and get back to the sort of the neutral state that you want to be in. And also we have this magnifying glass, and for the most part, I feel like it's talking about you sort of taking a closer look at your inner landscape, or tuning in to how you are feeling, what you are needing, your own personal needs. So I kind of feel this connection with the quill card with regards to getting back to basics, and also this spiritual love, even though, yes, it's tied to like friends and the people around you. I also feel that it could be talking about the spiritual love towards yourself and taking care of your own needs. That is also a form of spiritual love. And yeah, also with the magnifying glass, maybe this is also the sort of the distant friend who is like thinking about you, or who is wondering about you. So maybe there is some sort of a connection there too. But let's see what we can find out with the tarot cards. Whoa. Okay. So, yeah, we have the Six of Swords, the Six of Wands, and the Two of Cups. So I'm going to start off with the Six of Swords, the first card that flew out. And this is a very huge confirmation for me that you are definitely sort of separating yourself from the fray. I also find it really interesting that we are getting the Six of Swords specifically, which follows the Five of Swords, and so is very closely tied to moving away from some sort of a discord or falling out or conflict, and going to calmer shores. So yeah, it's definitely a huge confirmation that the second month is going to be a bit of a winding down and again, detaching, taking some healthy space to get yourself back on track. Now, I also feel though that we have this Six of Wands over here, and actually with the Two of Wands too, both of these cards are very much tied to other people and having this sort of focus on you. So with the Six of Wands, it feels like a confirmation regarding that some sort of friend is thinking about you or is focusing on you, because the Six of Wands is, in essence, attention. It's recognition. It's having this sort of spotlight on you. And with the Two of Cups, it's very clear that this spotlight is coming from someone who truly cares for you and who feels a lot of affection for you. But again, the Two of Cups doesn't have to be romantic necessarily. It can simply talk about having this beautiful connection with someone, and usually it runs quite deep. It's this mutual understanding, mutual respect, yeah, just love and support in general. So it feels really beautiful, and again, it feels like it's a bit of a calming down and a bit of a more of a soothing energy that you get to experience in the second month. But let's also take a look at the third month. Oh, sorry, before we do, actually, with the Two of Cups, I also feel called to say that there could be some sort of support as well that comes in from this woman. So the Two of Cups may also talk about the relationship that you have with this female in your life who plays a very significant role and who is more emphasized during these next 3 months. So they may be sort of really stepping in during the second month and kind of supporting you, uplifting you, helping you sort of come back to your center, or helping to just lift your spirits in general. But yeah, let's look at the third month. Okay, so we have a sheep, we have an arrow that is pointing upwards, and we have an apple. So I do feel that during the third month is really where you are most likely going to feel this sense of things starting to get better, things starting to move in the right direction, maybe your spirits lifting, you starting to feel more at ease and feel some sort of happiness return. So really the first two cards that we were looking at over here, those really seem to come to life in the third month most likely. We have this sheep, and why is this not focusing? As I said, sometimes they really don't want to focus. There we go. So for some reason it's feeling like home to me, or safety. But on the other hand, I also feel like it's talking about this sort of trajectory, or just following a path in like these little steps, or doing something that, like doing something in the right way. And I do feel that again, right next to this arrow here as well, it's definitely giving me the sense that you are starting to take these little steps in the right direction, and things are starting to kind of move back or slide back into some sort of a natural rhythm or organic sort of pattern. I don't know why I feel that with the sheep, but yeah, it just feels like sort of starting to move in the right pattern again, or doing things sort of correctly. I don't know what that is. But anyway, it definitely feels like things are looking up. With the arrow as well, it could talk about your spirits lifting. With the apple here, I feel a sense of nourishment, or again, just feeling more content, feeling more at ease, feeling like things are getting a bit more sweet and more enjoyable. So yeah, I'm really liking the third month for you. But again, let's take a look at some of these tarot cards too. Okay. Wow. So we have the King of Pentacles, the Moon, and the Chariot. Yeah, so definitely some major arcana cards as well. And I just wanted to show you because I kind of got a glimpse of it, of the underlying energy as I was shuffling the cards. I'm not focusing on the underlying energy in this reading, obviously, as you could already tell, because otherwise this reading would get way too long. But the Eight of Pentacles, again, is kind of being a bit of a confirmation, or giving me a confirmation on the whole sheep energy that was coming through, where you seem to start taking these little steps and sort of getting back on track. Of just sort of doing things right and getting yourself back on the right path for you. Now, with the King of Pentacles, getting to the cards that you actually got, with the King of Pentacles, it's just a huge confirmation that you are starting to come back to some sort of a neutral, safe space, because it definitely feels like for some time you have been in this fluctuating energy, or things have been rather unstable and in the process of changing as we were going through. So the King of Pentacles, which is very steady, very secure, very settled, is hinting at things starting to again come back to some sort of a center. So all in all, it feels like you are starting to feel more safe, more protected, more at home again. And the interesting thing is, though, that we have the Moon and the Chariot. These two cards also came out together. The Moon is hinting at some sort of a new path, something that is unknown, something that may be a bit scary as well. But with the Chariot, it feels like you definitely have what it takes to start following some sort of an unfamiliar journey, something that is just a completely new adventure to you, I want to say. And the Chariot is actually a card of success and triumph as well. So it feels like it's further confirmation that you are definitely coming out from that dark tunnel and stepping out on the other side. Possibly even in the third month, it could be that you are possibly able to leave something behind or make peace with something that potentially was kind of haunting you, or was dragging you down quite strongly with the Moon here. Because the Moon, again, it usually causes certain emotions to surface, and they tend to be more fear-based or like anxiety driven or something like that. But I feel like, again, with the Chariot being here, it's like you are moving away from those things. You're moving away from those feelings. And it again feels like you are starting to look towards the future with more confidence. So it feels like as time goes on, within those 3 months, you are starting to build up more courage, more, again, more resilience, more self-belief, and just more confidence that things can get better and you can get back on track. And just with the Chariot, I don't know, it feels like you are embracing the future and embracing future possibilities, even if you don't exactly know with the Moon, right? Even if you don't exactly know where you are headed or what is in store for you specifically, I feel like you are starting to open up to what could be and what could happen. And again, the Chariot is very strongly tied to triumph. So it could very well be that, again, you experience some sort of a sense of accomplishment, or like you just feel really good about something and really proud of yourself, most likely. And I also feel the last thing I want to say is that there may be the sense of direction that you find during the third month, where things are not as vague anymore or all over the place. It feels like there is some sort of a structure that is starting to form or come together, or again, maybe a specific direction that you discover for yourself, something that makes you feel a certain sort of way, something that makes you feel excited or, again, hopeful. So I don't know, but I'm really liking this third month for you. It feels like it has so much promise and so much sort of good in store, and it only feels like a beginning, if I can say it that way. Like the Chariot seems like it's only the beginning of the journey, and is going to get even more exciting and even more interesting and more eye-opening, more thrilling as you go on. But pile number 3, let's also wrap this reading up with some advice messages from Spirit. So we're going to get a couple of oracle cards from this deck, and then of course we are going to take a look at this card as well. So just a little more to go. Let's see what advice Spirit has for you. Okay. So the first card out is: the things that almost broke me were the things that most awoke me. The awakened dead. Resilience. It actually says resilience. resilience, nirvana, self-appreciation. Oh my goodness, I am kind of blown away by this card and the message on this card. The things that almost broke me were the things that most awoke me. I really love this for you, because I do feel that this is Spirit's way of saying that, again, all of the things that you have experienced, and I'm even kind of spooked by the skeleton on this, because we were looking at the like endings card and all of that, where we actually had a skull as well. So it all seems to kind of overlap and yeah, come full circle, if you will. So it's kind of spooky when things happen that way. But I mean, yeah, this card kind of says it all. And I do feel that it's just Spirit's way of saying, again, that all of this hardship, all of the difficulties that you have experienced, they are going to serve some sort of purpose. And obviously they are making you stronger. They are waking you up to something. They are making you realize something that may be more valuable down the line than you even realize right now. But yeah, it's definitely building this inner strength in you. We also have You Don't Need It All Figured Out. The Gifted Guide, Stars, Chaos, Opportunity. Yeah, I really love this message, because again, it's saying that you don't need to have every single step planned meticulously. You don't need to be able to know exactly how things are going to play out, because with the Gifted Guide, it feels like Spirit is actually there, and there is some sort of a logic behind this seeming chaos, behind this whole spiel that you have gone through. So, and even with the stars and opportunity keywords as well, I do feel that, again, it's Spirit saying that there are going to be these opportunities that are going to open up for you and that you're going to be presented with. So especially I feel like that's the case during the third month. I feel like that's when things really start sort of coming together, and where the world starts opening up for you again, if you will. And again, I feel this connection to the Moon card as well, where, you know, there may be some sort of mystery behind it, but even with the Chariot is also driven by stars and by the universe and by the divine. So I feel like you will kind of know you will kind of know what to do when the time is right. So it doesn't have to make sense right now. And I feel like there's something really really consoling about it. But I mean, we have been waiting for way too long. The time has come. Pile number 3, you have been incredibly patient, so thank you for that. But yeah, let's take a look at the message that you actually chose. So let's see what we have. Oh my goodness, I absolutely love this message for you. I cannot even say how beautifully this all coincides. We have taking care of yourself is also productive. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, this whole reading has been talking about you kind of taking care of your well-being, focusing on what you are going through, making sense of things, making peace with things, coming back to your center in a way. And I feel like this card is just such a perfect way to end this whole reading. And yeah, taking care of yourself is also productive. I absolutely love this message. But pile number 3, oh my goodness, I'm going to leave it here. I feel like I have kept you for way too long. Thank you so much for hanging in there and sticking it out. But as always, if you are still here, please leave me a little feather. Leave me a little feather emoji down in the comment section so that I would know that you made it all the way to this point and that you got something useful from this reading, but it was at least entertaining or fun for you to watch. I really hope that that's the case. And I would really love to see you in the comment section and connect with you there. But I also hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. And in the meantime, please take care of yourselves. And I hope that the next 3 months are truly, truly amazing for you. Bye-bye.